Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome back. This is Pitch Please,
Hello.
the podcast. Hello,
Hello.
the podcast where people who play games pitch ideas to people who make them. Isn't that right, Tom?
That is right, Alex. Thank you for dragging me into this intro real quick.
So yeah, also with me today is we actually only have two developers with us.
Oh,
That's
no.
as usual, as always, Chris.
Hello, I'm Brunch Club developer and body double for The Rock, Chris Yules.
No, you're not. That one I don't believe.
Takes me hours to think of
The
this.
other ones I believe. That
Okay.
one.
I've never seen The Rock. It could be
Exactly.
spot on.
I just put a ball cap on.
Developer number
CG
2
stand-in.
is James.
Hi, I'm James. Glurp developer.
Yeah,
Why
drink
do you always
more, Glurp.
stumble over that intro?
Why do you want to get?
I don't really know. It's like imposter syndrome. I guess I'm a developer.
Sure.
And thirdly, we have a special guest, which is Bouphe.
Hi.
The lovely
Hey.
Bouphe.
Hello.
Bouphe, who are you? What do you do?
Oh, you put me on the spot a bit there.
Not a game developer.
Not
We
a
can-
game developer.
No, we can clarify that one straight
yeah,
away.
that's. I've got a list of things that I'm not.
We can go through that if you want.
That's
Yeah,
fine,
go on.
yeah.
What's next? What are you not?
Not a dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fairly straightforward.
The
There was a
perfect-
bit of a rocky time in my teens.
The great thing is, this is an audio medium, right? So it's hard to tell. Bouphe, not a dog.
Yeah,
I'm not
true.
a dog also.
No.
We can clarify that one. Chris?
I can't. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Wayne the Dog Johnson.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you?
I'm a Twitch streamer. I mainly focus on retro games.
Okay.
And I count retro as 15 years in the past and older.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
not,
so
but
not...
if
so
you
you're
think about it,
going
that's like
PS2.
2004.
PS2 is 20
PS2
years
counts.
old now.
Yeah, PS2 was
Yeah.
20.
So wait, yeah, 2005.
God,
Earlier.
yes.
So what came out in
2020.
2005?
You're catching up with PS3.
I
So you're
know.
new there.
It's scary,
Jesus.
innit?
Yeah.
Man, so
I'm old.
have you got an idea for us today?
I do.
in
You want to go
this-
straight into it?
Well-
oh my God.
What we usually do is Dom,
Dom?
our
Dom.
resident person. No, Tom normally describes us entering his pitch hole,
The alacrity of my pitch hole.
and then we get the idea. And we won't put you through that.
No, I mean, do you want a pitch hole? Do you want your own little
I
pitch
would
hole?
love it.
Okay. Bouphe. We're all standing outside your quite well decorated fairy lights. There's
I'm glad you noticed how well decorated it is.
man,
Recently
what a,
dusted.
What a really nice, well cleaned pitch hole you have.
Thank you so much, Tom. I
Oh,
take
God,
I take pride in my pitch hole.
He's cringing.
I don't like
His
this at all.
There's goop candles.
Goop
Please
candles.
continue.
There's some gravel in the corner. What's that for? I'll never tell. And there you stand, with your arms wide.
My arms wide. I'm welcoming.
Welcome.
Welcome,
We barely see you
welcome.
in the corner. You're so short, but
It's a very
Arms-
big hole.
Arms agape. I
arms
prefer.
agape in your
Legs akimbo.
And legs akimbo.
in your wide open pitch hole.
Welcome. Come along
We can
in.
see your pitch hole very well.
It's well lit. It's bright. It's
Oh,
warm
it's
in
warm.
here. Smells a bit funny.
Yeah, it smells like Gwyneth Paltrow.
It's quite homely in your pitch hole.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Would
So-
you like tea?
Yes,
I have
please.
French fancies.
Do you?
Yeah.
Have you got any Lady Grey?
I do have some Lady Grey specially for James.
Best
Yeah,
tea, best
fruity
tea
is
the
ever.
best
I've
tea.
never heard of it
A little
until
bit
now.
fruity.
but-
Until
Little
about
bit
5
lady.
minutes
Yeah.
ago.
Right, well, we're all sat around, gathered in your little table.
On
in the
little
pi- in the
It's
bean
a
pitch
bags.
hole
really, really
with some
small
fruity
table.
tea. A tiny
It's
table.
a tree stump, okay?
Okay, we're all awkwardly like gathered around trying to.
You say it's a pitch hole. It's just a bush down the bottom of the
It's
garden.
just, it's just like a hole in a tree. And we're all sort of really awkwardly like hanging over the
clambering in.
door.
There's a woodlouse.
but trying to be
Hanging
polite
out.
about it, like, yeah, this is a really nice spot. Yeah,
Yeah, really homely.
Lovely,
Like,
yeah.
oh, this
Me
is nice.
looking
Like the
dishevelled.
scent,
Thank you.
You fit perfectly.
Thank you very much for coming.
Anyway, we're here surrounding your pitch hole that we can't quite get into.
It's fine. I'll shout.
And you deliver us your game idea,
Yes.
which is
all right. I haven't got a name.
No, that's
that's
perfect.
fine.
We always
Fine.
come up
Yeah,
with
You
we'll
should come up
that,
with a
right?
name.
Yeah.
and
It's-
we'll also inject a celebrity in there somehow.
Please do.
Okay.
We already know where we can insert this celebrity.
Gwyneth is coming out
Gwyneth!
later.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Where is she inserting herself? We'll never know.
everywhere.
It's a management sim.
Okay.
But the management sim is of the human body.
Oh,
Right.
You've got to keep this human body alive. Okay.
Right.
I'm going to say there are little people that you can move around. Because did you ever grow up with Did you ever see? Okay, it was on after CFAX about 6:30 a.m. in the 90s.
Mhm.
There was a cartoon. I think it was Spanish called "How My Body Works." Or The Way
Wait,
My
so a
Body Works.
6:30 a.m. Spanish TV show after CFAX? Like, no,
That's
I can't
a
say I
niche.
should
This-
see
you
it.
can
I've
tell
never
this-
been up at
This
6:30.
really influenced my life.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show you it sometime.
What do you mean after CFAX was just a thing that you pressed a button on your
No,
TV
no,
and you got it,
it
right?
used to
Was that not
I used to
run.
run all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
It's
Oh,
like
instead
ITV
of like
Night
After
Screen.
scheduled
yeah.
programming.
Yeah, and it was
ended.
like
Wow,
classical
television was-
music. And
Now it's
stuff.
just CVS and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really cool.
So yeah, this
and there's
Spanish.
little men running around the body, and they're going, "Oh no, we've got to get the."
He shat himself.
Get the platelets to the cut,
Yeah.
or he's gonna bleed out.
Oh my
So it's
god!
educational.
It's
Ah,
educational.
yeah.
Okay.
Was it actually extremely dark as well?
No, I think I might have made that one up.
I
Okay.
quite like. I really like this idea. In my head, it's sort of Age of Empires with white blood cells.
I was
Yes.
imagining
Like-
RimWorld.
Even better.
But
Yeah.
instead of colonists in a dilapidated, horrible little civilization, you've got blood cells around the hut.
Exactly.
Uh,
And here's the thing, right? But you have to manage the body as a whole.
Mm.
So you
Right.
can automate. Things are generally automate, but you have to go in and go, hang on a minute, he's got a tummy ache. What's wrong there? And you have to go into the stomach and go, all right, that's acid reflux, or that's a
Get
stomach
this man a
ulcer.
Rennie.
Get that man a Rennie, and you can.
we need a
fix
ready
it.
stat.
You can fix it by like directing people around and stuff, or
Okay.
you have to spend points accrued on going to the doctor. Nobody wants to do that.
So are you able to influence like the brain,
Yeah.
or is the body, does he have his own free will and you just have to react to the stuff that he gets involved with? This person you're controlling.
This person, I think he has free will. You're just like the autonomous systems within,
Inside, okay.
within
Well,
the
not
body.
autonomous, 'cause
Not
you have to-
autonomous because that's my job.
That's you are the
That's
autonomy.
Me.
That's
I
you.
am the nervous system.
So you're never having any direct control over the motor functions of this.
No.
this
It's
purely
person.
reactional.
But you could
He-
if you wanted to.
you
You
could
could
if
go
you
up to the
wanted
brain
to.
and just poke a I don't know, a lobe.
An
Yeah.
idea.
Just give him a
They'll
fit.
Jump in front of a bus and then
No,
game
I-
Just
over.
for fun.
I think that would be great because you could have you already have a day-night cycle, right? So at
Right.
night time you can you're on a little bit of a downtime, so you can run repairs. But say, oh, it's Friday, he's going out drinking, right? So everything's then impaired. Or
Yes.
he ends up in an accident, so you have to do like major damage control. You're like, oh fuck, like,
Yeah. Oh, I love
why
the
is his
idea.
bone sticking out of his arm?
I love the idea that if you head up to the brain, you can see the schedule of this guy.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, Monday and Tuesday, he's not doing much. He's just like going to work. But Wednesday, oh my God, he's getting on a flight and there's a load of sick people on the plane.
He's gonna get a cold,
He's
and we're
gonna
gonna
get a
have to
cold.
manage this.
So,
and
like,
can
Repair
do
the
it.
immune system.
You know that like that day is when you need to have more white blood cells by to
Yeah.
Well, what if you were to just like if you can't control this person, but if there was just like a little screen in the corner, like a little window into this is what he's doing.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
what-
just see
I-
him.
I like
you
the
can actually
idea
see him walking around.
You would go
and-
up to the eyeballs and you would see first person through what they're doing. And you've got to
Yes.
figure out,
Yeah.
oh, that
Yeah.
looks like a bar. Oh, no. Oh, there's a beer coming up.
And then the
yeah.
schedule
Right, yeah,
changes.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
oh, now
yeah.
he wants to go and get pissed.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
here
liver's,
comes the
the
kebab.
liver's screaming
Uh-oh.
down there, going, "No!"
Yeah.
But then him getting drunk would impair your like
Your guys.
your
or your
actions and stuff. So
Yeah.
you'll get them to do something, and it'd be like 30% of the time they don't listen to your order. So
Yeah.
you're like, oh, so you have to just
Well, they go to the wrong place.
they go to the wrong place, or they
Yeah.
do the wrong. They start like, and if we were talking about the white blood cells thing. If you overproduce, I don't know, maybe you have a threshold because if you overproduce white blood cells, it's very dangerous for your body.
Get an
Right.
infection.
So like you could have
Yeah.
that side of management as well, where you have to be like, right, let's flush you guys out and get rid of you, do that. But then something random might happen where you needed those white blood cells, and now you're unprepared.
Yeah.
Like
So I f-
adrenaline and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you can't expend all of your adrenaline, or you're gonna be knackered.
Yeah.
And then
Like-
add add modifiers. And then in my head went diabetes.
Well, no, that's what I was thinking, right? So in RimWorld, you've got the world that you can place your camp on, right? But as you move the cursor around, it shows up like different temperatures, different weather formats, different climates, things like that. So there's a load of different modifiers in where you place your camp in RimWorld. So I'm thinking maybe before you start the game, the body that you're in is like different every time.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, this person, this is like a child. Like, what does a child get up to? And you have to you have to sort of think about like, okay, a kid's going to go to a birthday party. Oh my god, we need to solve that.
Why is he licking the wall?
Yeah.
He's eating so much cake.
Yeah, he's eating
And
so
also,
much.
but like kids are like their immune systems are a bit like they can take a bit of a beating, can't they?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe
Kids in
like,
general.
would that be? Yeah.
Can they? I feel like 90% of the kids I
They
meet
just
are
bounce.
ill.
It's fine.
I don't
but
know. I
they're
used to
ill,
do
but
loads
they're
of
not
think of all the
dying.
True.
all the shit that you used to do when you were a kid that you would never do now that was disgusting.
Anytime I
Tom.
come in contact with me specifically, anytime I come in contact with a kid, they destroy me. Like they
What you mean?
just are carriers
Shins
of,
and-
of
I
illness.
I grew up in the Yorkshire Moors, right? And I had a
Right.
stream running down my back garden. My mum used to tell me off because we'd just sit there and drink the water from the stream. And she'd be like,
Oh my god!
you know where that water comes from? There are sheep up on the moors. They're shitting in that. And I was just sitting there with
So
like
you're gonna
some
say,
Reese's
like,
teacups going,
That comes from the nuclear silo.
Yeah. We have them all over Yorkshire.
Yeah.
As well.
But yeah, I used to make mud pies.
Yeah.
Yeah, mud pies.
What is that?
It's a
Is that where
pie.
are you just eating mud? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, essentially.
Mess around in mud,
But
don't you?
Yeah.
the good thing is that if you start with, you can do progression, right? As they age, it gets harder. So as they
Okay.
become older, their immune system becomes weaker, and you find it harder. And then like the end game is death, right?
Right. So you
We're
win
just
the
seeing
game.
how long they can live.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
you
You've
don't-
gotta
there's no
keep 'em-
win.
Right.
It's how long. It's like a rogue. It's a management body sim roguelike.
I was envisioning you can have various scenarios. So when you reach the end of a scenario, it's like, okay, now next level. Okay, now this guy he's massively overweight, and
Right. Yeah.
And-
You're starting with a 45-year-old
have-
with type 2 diabetes. as a
and then
kid.
you can have campaign mode.
Yeah.
Would you have one human, or would you
Skirmish.
have lots of other different humans? Would each?
You think I could deal with myself, let alone anyone else?
I think there's way too many systems to have multiple.
No, as in, is each level one?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, I
they'd be
see.
different. I think they'd be different.
you don't
humans.
keep the same
Well,
human.
there's a campaign, there's a sandbox.
Well, that's
mode.
what you mean by
Yeah.
scenarios,
Yeah, it'd be
right? Is that what you
scenarios,
have
yeah,
the
yeah.
different
Okay.
A
scena-
scenario,
yeah.
you'd start off as like a 20-year-old, perfectly healthy, like not too hard, and then like your next person, he's a little bit older. You've got a bloke now. It's
So what's
This person
what's
hasn't got
easy
their
mode then?
vaccinations.
Oh,
Oh yeah, hard mode is a child
hard
with
mode.
anti-vax.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, what would be easy, medium, and
Super hard is
hard for,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
for these like scenarios? Would it be the kid would be easy because they can they do lots of shit?
No,
and they
I
seem
think
to
I
get-
think kids they've got a strong immune system, but they get ill a lot.
Yeah.
right.
I'd say a 20 to 25-year-old, fairly good. They've got all of the beginning
Right,
bit of
okay.
their life out the
Yeah,
way.
you've got
Yeah.
a 20-year-old vegan who cycles to work every day.
No, vegetarian. Vegans don't get enough protein. Come on.
Vegetarian then. I'm trying to think of what is like the peak human.
I don't know.
You're saying
What is a
vegans are peak humans. You immediately went to vegans.
I don't know.
think
healthy
we
elite.
need-
Just look at me.
straight at Alex. You
we
were
need
like,
the rock.
"Mm."
That's what we need.
Oh yeah, we've got the
Yeah.
body doubled right there.
I feel like you could have, but then they also have their own issues, right? If you're really buff and stuff, you have to process so much, like
Oh
Their
yeah.
hearts.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
all that like protein. If they're doing meat based, obviously you can get protein from.
But if
quite
you're
a lot of
super
different
muscular, you
sources.
have like what you get like thigh rub and stuff as well when you're walking around.
Yeah, just
You
a bit
can't
of-
really
just a
manage
little-
thigh rub.
I'm spending so much time on the thighs. I don't have enough time for the
heart.
lungs.
His thigh wound has opened again.
It's like, oh no, sorry, game over. You died. It's like, but the thighs.
The thighs are so good right now.
Or you just bled out from your thighs, maybe.
Maybe.
But I do like the fact that if you get a body and you don't have any control over their actions, but you know
No.
their lifestyle,
Yeah.
so you know what to expect,
Mhm.
and it's purely reactionary. So it's purely you have to prepare, and
Mm.
as soon as something comes in, you're
Well,
like.
that's the nighttime
let's
segment,
go.
right? Like the
Well,
nighttime,
nighttime,
part
I
of
feel
the
like you'll
game.
be recovery, right? You can start producing more units. You can start doing this.
Yeah, but I
And
also
also-
I also love the idea of going to different parts of the body to get a report on
Yeah.
different things, like going to the brain to get the schedule, getting the eyes to see if they're
Mm.
getting in a
there's a-
fight or something.
There's some guy beating him up in the sleep.
Just everything's like,
No!
what are we shaking about? What's going on?
Look
Why are we
through the
losing
eyes
blood?
and there's like a fire. Like oh, fuck.
Body temperature rising.
Yeah, what is this? And like mini game, right? Dream sequences. There's
What?
your mini game
Yeah.
in
You have
the
to-
brain at night.
Or the brain just starts going
Yeah.
crazy.
You have to
And you-
spam a button not to piss yourself. That's
That's 12
Alex.
hours.
Alex
That's a callback.
sometimes forgets that he's alive, and thinks he's going to piss
You
himself
ever
when he's
just
at the
forget
toilet.
to breathe sometimes when you really concentrate on something.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
do.
the thing, isn't it? Like sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Right? So you might have to be
There
like,
you
quick,
go.
breathe, you idiot. And they're like,
Breathe!
oh,
Oh,
shit,
this guy's a
sorry.
sleepwalker. It's like,
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Great.
yeah. So you think you have time to recover, but
Yeah.
no, you
But
don't.
that's
Some
what I like
nights-
about the idea. It's just pure.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But you get like a rough idea of their lifestyle. You go, this guy has this medical problems, so you go, okay, I can expect this stuff.
Yeah.
So from previous experience, I know that I need to prepare this, this, and this for. Or like roughly these things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But also, there's a mix of randomness in there.
But I
You
think-
fell in a river last night.
I think also like that's
you have hypothermia now.
like, I think like the idea that a lot of the body doesn't know what's actually happening on the outside
Mm.
is a really interesting. Like your body temperature suddenly rising, but like the body doesn't know that you're on fire or that your house is on fire.
Sorry, I fell in a river. I don't know why I got
That's possible. People fall in
no, I
rivers.
know it.
We're in Bristol.
In Bristol, people fall in rivers all the time.
Yeah, they do.
My
It's
favourite
weird.
So
idea-
yeah,
could
yeah.
be-
So that might happen, right? What if your body fell into a river, but like
You don't know that.
yeah, you're just getting the reports through of all this stuff happening,
Yeah.
like your body's going into
No,
shock.
I don't think
have
you
no
do get
idea.
reports. That's the thing. I think stuff just starts happening.
Well, no,
And
that's
in the
what I mean.
chaos
But
of
like
it, you have
reports
to
in,
like you have to like
meters are
look through
going
the eyes. And
crazy.
you're like, wait, what the hell? It's underwater.
Yeah, exactly.
What's
Or-
happening?
Yeah, or
Is
do
that
you want
Lewis?
to?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, do you want to take the time to actually look through the eyes and figure out what's happening, or do you just need to focus on the
React.
problems at hand? Yeah, do you just need to react to it?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
feel
thing.
like reaction.
Yeah.
Is well, that's all the body can do is react to certain situations that go on.
So,
Yeah, because it doesn't know what life is.
But I'd be like, oh, you're cold, and we just a button that says shiver. And you're like, shiver, 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 shiver.
It's like you hit the adrenaline button and it slows time down, so you have like
You have
more
more
time to
time.
react.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
Like-
that.
so
How
is
do you-
it? Oh, you go.
Oh, I was going to say, how do you imagine the body looks to the
Yeah,
player?
that's what I was
Is
gonna
it is it like
Operation.
is it like
Yeah.
Love is in a Dangerous Space Time? Are you controlling one person that goes up ladders and you can see the whole without hitting the mic? you
How
can
does
see
that
the
game
whole-
work? Sorry,
What is
explain
Love
that.
is-
So Love is in a Dangerous Space Time. You're controlling a little spaceship and you've got little consoles and weapons and shields, and you
FTL
control
style?
one FTL maybe, I can't really remember, but you control one person and you have to like react and go to
Mm.
different places in the spaceship to fly and shoot the
Okay,
lasers
yeah.
and move the shield around. And
Do you
it
control
is-
multiple people in that, or is it one
it's
person?
co-op. So you
Oh,
can
right,
have,
okay. That sounds cool.
So mine
multiple people.
essentially
It's a
was
really
like
fun
that,
game.
but FTL, but instead of an outline of a ship, outline of a body,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then
Well,
you-
that's like there was this game that came out after Plague Inc. I've forgotten the name of it because it's that good. I played it quite a lot. Like,
Pandemic. No, that's a board game.
it's the
Board
I think there
Board
was a
game.
game
There
called
was a- yeah,
Pandemic.
there was a
Yeah,
game
was
called
it Pandemic? I
It
think
might
it
have
was.
been. It might have
And
been.
it was like there's the human, there's the body, and it's like you
Oh,
clicked on bubbles. And then,
yeah, it's not
but
that.
it was
I can't
like
remember
to
the name
kill
of
the
it.
guy.
Yeah.
It was like
Okay.
this one is like you've got to kill, and then there was Hitler. They had a thing that
What
you
do you
could
say?
kill Hitler. You could kill
You could
Hitler.
kill
in this
Hitler.
game.
Did he have one ball?
I don't. I think
Did they draw the balls?
They didn't draw the balls. I think we
No.
should draw the balls.
We should draw the balls. Yeah.
Well,
We should
there's-
definitely
you
have
gotta
those.
go to the
Those are the-
ballroom.
He's having
a bath.
You got to go down to the ballroom and see what's going on.
That's where you have a little
Ballroom.
dance.
The billiard room, I think we'll call it.
Yeah.
Where's all the blood gone?
Oh,
You don't want to know.
Let's look through the eyes. Oh,
Oh
censor
no.
that.
Jesus.
Yeah, so it's either you're controlling loads of different blood cells, or maybe we can go quirky and it's just a load of little people, kind of like Inside Out, the film, where you've got
Yes,
just
yes.
loads of little people in there. So then you can form an attachment to all the people, and you've got like, oh, here's Doris.
Oh, you
Doris
to
is
name
going
them.
to-
You have
they
to
could be
name
like
them.
You have to name
yeah,
them.
they
Kevin
could
the
be like the
Adrenaline
managers
Man.
of those sectors, perhaps. Like
Yeah.
you have the
Or
brain.
it's like in that
or
case,
the
it's like FTL, right? Where you've got your different characters with different specializations.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is like you're inside a ship, but you are in a cockpit and there's just a wall of like levers and buttons, and you're just like controlling this person from the inside.
Sweating,
That does
just
totally
trying-
change it. I
Yeah.
It
know.
totally changes it.
But
I like the idea that you would have to go to the foot or something, and you're in the brain, and you're like, oh my god, I've got to get all the way down. There might be some like I don't know what in the human body, some like veins or something. You can jump in and they like fast travel.
oh,
Down to
nice.
He's
the
got a
bottom.
thrombosis. We're never
Yeah.
going to make it.
Oh, that gout's coming back! Quick, go! But yeah, I like the idea that you might control one person that can send orders.
Yeah.
So you're in there, but then you can be like my lemmings, go down there, and you can click on a thing. Or
Oh, I see. So you send orders and you just hope that the AI reacts to it,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than controlling them individually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you would say, I need this. Send 10 units
So then
or
it
something.
almost
and they would
becomes a
be
little
like,
bit like there's like a traffic management mechanic in there, right?
Like
When you're
mini
having
metro.
to make sure that like certain parts of like what, sorry?
Like Mini Metro. Ever played Mini Metro?
Yeah, that
So
kind
you
of
set up different lines, but the lines, if you imagine Mini Metro, like the train lines laid out with a human body,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. Like you can see where blockages, see that, there's congestion. This vein is congested. Like you
Give
can,
yourself a triple heart bypass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's really unhealthy, then it's going to take a long time. Sometimes you can't take the most efficient path to get to a place.
Well, that's the point, right? You're trying to keep this guy as healthy as possible
Yeah.
to make it easier for when something big happens. But if you just manage him on a medium scale where you're just like, oh, he's healthy enough,
Yeah,
then you're only going to hurt yourself, because then it's harder to travel from place to place. Bits are falling off him.
but you can't make.
oh, he's lost an arm.
Arm.
Oh, dear.
But you can't make this person healthier. Like maybe if, like, or maybe this is a scenario thing. But you start with each person has a peak physical fitness, and maybe their peak physical fitness is like type 2 diabetes, like super overweight. They can't, like, they're really struggling to be around, or they don't leave the house, or whatever. I don't know. And
I
so
feel
that-
attacked right now.
But-
Sorry, you're
and
super
that's-
overweight.
You can't force them to be healthier. You can only manage what you have.
Yeah.
That's all you have to deal with. And so like that's where it becomes really difficult. Like if you're working with someone who is already really like unhealthy, you suddenly, like, it's difficult to get to places, things react slowly, like they take longer to heal, like all that kind of stuff.
I feel like it is a roguelike. Because you at the start you generate a body and they have different stats.
It
Yeah.
happens
Yeah,
every
yeah.
episode.
Well, every game can be made into a roguelike.
Yeah.
But like you generate a body.
Can we get that on a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Every game is a roguelike.
Um,
Slash roguelite.
roguelites. Yeah,
That's
you
on
don't
the
want to
back.
confuse those.
Yeah.
But you generate a body at the start, be like, okay, this person is 38. They're, overweight a little bit. Their lifestyle is active. They sit at a desk all day, but they, those stats all factor in.
Mhm.
And you're not trying to make them healthier because that's not really what your body can do. It just has to keep
Yeah.
you alive longer.
Yeah.
Your whole goal is to
You
just keep
hang
this
on.
Let's just hang on.
Just
Let's
hang on
just
as long as you can.
keep going. But obviously they're doing stuff in their life that you can't change.
No.
You just have to deal with it.
No.
Yeah.
And like that is I really like that as a mechanic, that you just like, these are the cards I've been dealt.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
think
gonna
that's
just-
that's the sandbox mode, right? Whereas scenario mode, maybe they're people over
That'd be
different in
fixed,
different
yeah.
places of time. So
Oh,
maybe you're
right.
like a Victorian child,
Oh,
a
look, the
chimney
Black
sweep.
Plague.
That's
farmer boy in
badass.
there.
Yeah.
And then in the
Yeah.
future, you can get a cyber arm or something.
Yeah,
and
in the
just
future
like-
it's
yeah.
super easy. Oh, but maybe the cyber arm doesn't connect
It doesn't
with the body
connect,
properly.
It's just going off
Right.
and doing its own.
Well, no, I
thing.
mean
Goes against
maybe
the host.
it's like rejection. So you then have
Yeah.
to fight
Oh,
against
God.
like the cyber like blood cells.
Like
doing the same
Cable
thing, holy
from
shit.
X-Men.
yes,
As his body's slowly been taken over by his cyber
Yeah,
elements.
and,
you got a little backstory there.
and you're trying to work with the cyber arm, but then there's a negotiation between you and the cyber arm.
And it becomes
Going
like
on,
Ace
going
Attorney.
Very
So
And
there's
then
like
it
an
becomes-
intermediary. It's like
Yeah.
one blood cell talks to a robotic blood cell and goes,
Yeah.
"Can you go and do that?" And they'll be like,
bloop.
"Maybe."
But what if we
yeah.
took over the rest of the body? We're
Yeah.
so much more superior to you. And you're
Like
no,
the
but
Borg.
I don't think that's
like the Borg,
right.
you've got to fight assimilation
Yeah.
from your own
God,
arm.
yeah, people start putting in different. You get like vision implants, and like it's not just like an arm, but like
Yeah.
eventually someone, as we get, because that's what's happening anyway, right? People are putting implants in, and we're becoming more like.
Yeah, it's happening right now. Actually,
Right
No,
now.
but they're
Like
genuinely. I've seen
cyborgs.
articles
Under this
about
table.
This, like
What was
people-
Elon Musk's like? He's got these.
Yeah, that.
Oh, the
that
little
whole
brain,
thing. How does that
brain
work?
little wires.
Brain.
So
Yeah.
there's a few wires, and they attach it to certain parts of your brain, and
then
it just
you
picks up the
can-
electrode. But you can also pulse.
You can
There's-
use your
there's
phone
the-
by thinking.
There's the chap that can smell through an implant. Like he's it's like synesthesia, so he can see see color.
So the hand
through-
movement you did made
Yeah.
it look like he's got some sort of hose attached to the side of his head, and he just puts it up against things and goes, "Oh, that's nice.
I can't remember the guy's. I have to. I'll look
Oh,
it
that's
up.
good."
that's good.
Put it in the show notes.
I,
No,
I know
won't
how
put it in the
that
show
works
notes.
because I have synesthesia, but it's like color sound. So like sounds have colors,
Wow.
but
So I think he's like, I can smell an orange through like the color. It's
Yeah.
it's really
because
interesting.
sounds
Luckily,
do have
it's the
smells too.
same-
To
Same
me,
colour and
Really?
yeah,
How does this smell? Oh.
it smells quite musky.
Okay, I'll take musky.
Wow.
Okay, so yeah, and also I guess you could also have like going way back when medicine, like you've got in his schedule, it's like, oh, need to attach a load of leeches to my body to fix this thing. You know, it doesn't
Got the
work.
plague.
Yeah, got the
Yeah,
plague.
but your body doesn't know that that's happening.
No,
No.
you're just losing a lot of
You're
blood.
just
Also,
going,
that's what
"But-
I mean.
but-
Like
but-"
doctors, before people actually knew what medicine was, like the way they used to deal with most things was just bleeding
Bloodlet-
people,
yeah,
right? They would
bloodletting.
just I read like this really interesting article last week about it was a list of deaths in the last year in London in like I don't know the 1800s or something.
Lovely
Oh, I
light
read
read.
that list.
Some of them were
It's
there was things like
amazing.
the causes of death were things like one of them was like planets.
Planets. It's
Yeah,
like,
and
what
there
does
was-
that even mean?
There's some really
What?
weird names. There was
Planets?
like the rising of the lights, which is basically
Oh,
with
yeah, I've
breathing,
seen that,
problems
yeah,
with
yeah.
breathing.
That's how I want to go.
The rising of the
I
lights.
wanna go
that
by
was like
planets.
TB, I think. Planets
Right.
was things like I think it was stuff to do because they believe like
There's always acts
the
of God
movement
as
of the
well.
planets would affect people's sanity.
Oh,
I
so
think
they
it
were
was
saying
like
that astronomy killed them.
yeah, they were killed by astronomy, or they were like it was before we knew anything about like how people's
Science.
minds work,
Yeah.
and they were like, this person's insane. The
Ah,
planets.
Mercury is in retrograde. That explains
Well,
it.
women always had hysteria.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
They always
Times
did,
never
and
changed.
they always
Oh my
will.
God. Okay, so now do you want to do a recap of like what your vision of the game currently is? I feel like it's exactly the same as it was because the idea was solid to begin
Yeah.
with.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
do you want to now that we've
we need
sort of
Bouphe
talked
instead
about
of
it
Tom.
a bit?
Can we sort that out? Just get rid of Tom entirely.
I
Because his
can-
ideas are shit.
I can stay.
Yeah, but he has
and listen.
so many of them.
That's
the
true.
things.
Yeah, there's some gold in
I'm
there.
sure we'll get a hit one day.
Someone's already made John Quick Card Slinger. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's true.
Anyway,
Good game.
so what is this as yet untitled game currently? I think it's still what you said
It's
at the
still
start, right?
exactly what I said at the beginning.
Perfect. There's the recap.
There's the recap.
I mean, normally the games go in rapid different directions that we have to do a recap like 3 times an episode.
I feel quite guilty now. We're
Now,
going to
But it's
Well,
not essentially,
okay.
it's a management game where you're managing the human body.
a human
right?
body.
But now
purely
there's-
purely reactionary. You don't
Good.
have any influence over the body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can look through the eyes to see what he's currently up to. You can look at the brain to see the current schedule, and also that's the sandbox mode. But the scenario mode is people through time, but also people of different ages and people with different things
Now, hear
wrong
me
with
out.
them. Okay,
Okay.
okay,
Gonna change it up.
Say if like a big event happens, like you suddenly get a major flu, right?
right,
Very topical.
sure.
2 types of styles. You can either go the total war route with blood cells, like
right.
white blood cells versus like,
Infection.
full on
Like viruses.
like
Yeah.
white blood cell units, and there's different ones.
So okay,
Or
so there's
Pokemon
actually a
style
battle.
battle.
Oh, so there's actually combat.
I
in
think
this
maybe
game.
like
Oh,
but
if you
for
get
big
infections
events,
and things,
like if you
yeah.
get a big infection. or
Yeah, I
something,
guess there
you
does
then
need
go
to be.
full on
There
total
needs to
war
be
style.
something.
There
You're
needs to
inside
be a
like a
combat style.
pancreas, and it's just that's your arena.
I think it's Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
It's on
How
a
does-
grid
how
basis.
does
It's
that work?
XCOM.
Oh,
The
XCOM.
XCOM is yes,
Yes.
yes.
So you've got your characters, and then they take cover behind like I don't know, bigger blood cells.
Yeah.
This is where you
veins,
can
muscle.
spend your points to go to the doctor and get antibiotics, which are extra.
Yeah, and
Oh yeah, we haven't even covered that yet. The point system.
Yeah, I wanted to have like a point system, like just that you accrue points that you can spend.
It'd
How would
be
you
like
get those
it'd be like
points?
plague ink, right? Where
Yeah,
you can mutate, so you can't really spend points, but your body can be like, okay, you can assimilate foreign and like bodies 10% quicker, or you can detect foreign bodies.
what if you
Like your detection, or like,
I think
know.
maybe like a random thing like it's your birthday, get 50 points.
Nice.
So
Like,
what?
do you
like,
not-
placebo points.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
exactly
you
right.
made
yeah.
it to your next birthday. Is
Yeah.
the reward?
you got over the
Yeah.
Black Plague, 10 points.
Yeah,
10,
like,
Yeah.
50 for birthday, 10 for.
honestly, birthdays are pretty
Hey,
special.
Black
Yeah,
Plague
okay.
is curable.
Right,
There was a
Like,
case last
at
year.
the
do you know?
moment, the way you can kind of you can't really win the game. You can just last as long.
You never
as
win.
as you can.
It's
right?
like life. You never win. You just
So
keep
if
going
there's any
as
kind
long
of
as
like
you can until
if
the
there's any
end.
kind of competitive or leaderboard element, it's just last as long as you can. Oh, I made this guy last until his 60s, and he's had really bad diabetes for all of his life. And this, so
could
maybe
do
is it just
points.
like you accrue
Yeah, I
points?
think you could do points.
You could do a score.
Well, no, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, do you just get points the longer you're alive?
No, I
So for
think
each-
I think in the scenario mode, it's easily trackable. Like if you've got diabetes guy,
Mm.
you manage to keep him. If you keep him the higher end of the healthy scale for longer,
It's a
you get more
multiplier.
points than someone who
Yeah.
made it to the end, but he was generally unhealthy.
So
So
you
he
can
didn't die.
use length, and then like anything that goes against you is a multiplier. So you go, he's got diabetes. Okay, that gives me however many times, because everyone in the scenario would have the same scenario, right?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
so can you make your own level?
I feel like no, but I feel like so scenarios should be pre-built, so everyone has level 2 for you is the same as level 2 for me,
Right.
and then we can
Definitely, yeah.
score against that, and that's how you do the replayability aspect.
Okay.
Is get the best score, but everything that is wrong with him is a multiplier for how long you make him last.
Yeah,
right? 'Cause
okay.
that's the stuff going
So
against.
But in
the more
terms-
stuff
sorry.
that racks up,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
the harder it is, the more points you're getting. But you
Right,
can spend
yeah,
those
yeah.
points and it.
Wait,
Well,
so
but I think that the point system should be
No, I
different.
was talking
like,
about
in
score,
terms
not
of, yeah,
points.
score. But
Score,
like points, you could like.
oh, like
if-
stat
if-
boosters, right?
Yeah. Like if we're going back to like combat and stuff, maybe you win. So if you fight off a cold, you gain points from doing that, which you can then use the next time you get this. If you get the flu, you can then spend that to go
Yes.
and to go. To
I
the
think
doctors
I
and
think
get
the
those-
white blood cells should level up. I think
Oh,
the
Pokemon.
more,
Pokemon.
yeah. So
Skill
so
trees.
like in FTL where
Yeah.
they've got they start as like statless chumps, but you send them to do piloting, they slowly evolve piloting the skills. So in this, if you send a blood cell to do a lot of combat, then his combat skill increases. And that one blood cell gets better and better. Whereas this one, who's like looking through the eyes a lot or is constantly reporting from the brain,
Is this a turret
No,
defense
but
game
that's
now?
different
all of a
types of
sudden?
blood
Is
cells.
it
What?
That's
just-
different types of blood cells. Red blood cells don't fight.
I don't think you.
White blood cells fight. They don't then go
Oh,
around
I'm
in
still
your
on like the
body.
quirky little characters that you've got names for.
And
Yeah,
it-
I know, but that would
like-
be more like neurons firing, right? So you play as the neurons, right?
I think you're thinking too
But
much
white-
about it.
white
Oh,
blood
little
cells
Neville neuron.
need red blood cells, and they need like plasma and all those things. So do you have like support units for your white blood cells?
I also feel like
Can they just not move? They're just dumb. And you
I don't
like,
know
right,
enough about
guys.
the human
I was
body.
about to say
No, I
none
mean,
of
I
us.
don't
None of
really.
us are using our
I'm
talking like I'm an
biology,
expert.
videos from my childhood right now. I've got so much to teach.
and they're
you.
all in Spanish.
No, they dubbed it. Come on.
Oh man,
I don't know
subtitles.
Spanish.
Yeah. So I think not stat boosters, and you can't level up your individual cells.
No, it'd be as I said earlier with the whole you can detect foreign bodies 5% faster or
Right, 'cause
because
I was-
it'll just ping an alert and you'll be like, there's an open wound in the right arm, and then you'll be like, oh fuck, so you have to go over there and you send everything over there, and
You,
Yeah.
you're
you
losing.
could have skill tree or like leveling up elements if you were to have like commanders or anything. Like you said, like like the inside out people.
Yeah, I was
Like, you're just
imagining
leveling
having
those-
you've not got red blood cells, white blood cells,
Yeah.
neurons, things like that. You've just got people
Mm.
that do
They handle all the
things in the
technical
body.
stuff.
I think that's
they
better.
they
Yeah.
send the blood cells
Yeah,
out, but they're
yeah.
like, maybe they're people, maybe they're just fun little.
So it's like
quirky little
generals.
characters. Yeah, and
then
they have their
your
abilities.
Squadron of
It's called Once Upon a Time Life, right?
Okay.
What,
Leo?
this
Once upon a
Spanish
time
show.
life.
Once Upon a Time Life. Let me.
Is
go
that a
ahead.
false? Is it once
So-
upon a time ... life?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
wow.
And there's a guy.
Oh, this
that-
is very
there's
dated.
The guy that lives in the brain, and he's like ordering. people
Surrounded by
around.
control panels.
Yeah.
Like some
Wow.
sort of yeah,
Why
just
did-
control
wow.
rooms.
Is
He's
his
got
face?
antennas.
He's got
Yeah. I don't
Why
know.
does he have
penis
little
for a nose.
antennas?
He's
Yeah.
got penis for a nose, very old man, and then there's
look
just
at him.
a nice little character. There's a stomach.
Okay, this looks like exactly the kind of thing. Do you know when if you're at school and like the teacher wheels in an old CRT
Yeah.
TV,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Sit down now. It's educational TV
So look,
hour."
I think that's someone smoking. You see.
Oh
this is
no.
breathing.
So he's smoking. So they're going across a river, not a very
Oh,
healthy looking
okay.
river.
It's a
We're watching. I don't know what we're looking at.
Yeah, it's also it's all in
Education.
Spanish.
I turned out fine. And
the-
it's like that's the
So-
stomach. Oh,
There you go.
Is
no
this
way.
how you imagine the game? Kind of cartoony, quite colourful.
Definitely colourful, but there's
Okay.
also like an
So it looks a bit
anime
like Cuphead.
recently. There was an anime recently. I've forgotten what it's called. It's like, but it's the similar sort of thing,
Okay.
and it's just anime. I mean,
Oh, lovely
it's just
explanation.
anime.
When you first described it, it reminded me. I straight away went to that episode of Rick and Morty with the
That's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
the
literally,
theme
yeah.
park inside his body.
Right, yeah.
Like those kind of looking people. Do you know the guy? So John Oliver voices the head of the theme park.
he's like
Yeah.
he's like
It's
a little
germ
germ
little,
boy.
Little germ boy.
Yeah, yeah.
little
Yeah.
amoeba man.
Yeah.
Little
So
amoeba
that's how
boys.
they look in my head.
Little amoeba boys are just I feel like they should have their individual stats because then you've got little Kenny who's going up. He's really good at patching wounds. Oh, Kenny, you're nowhere near the wound at this point. We're going to have to send down Doris. Doris, you're not great at patching wounds, but you're in the area.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Okay, but then Pokemon style fighting.
No.
I still think the XCOM.
Yeah, the XCOM sounds pretty exciting.
So you send
What-
off your team of.
How are you imagining the Pokemon? Describe that.
So
to us.
imagine Pokemon style fighting,
Yeah, that's
but
it.
not Pokemon, and they're little germ boys.
Oh, germ
So you
boys.
just
Little
fight. So
boy.
it's just one germ versus one other germ.
Well, you can have doubles.
Germ on germ action.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and then obviously
Sure.
you have your attacks. But you can level them up, and they get higher stats, higher attacks.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm a level 20
Again, it's
germ
just
going
Pokemon.
against this level 1 cold.
For
Easy.
me, that takes me out of the. I want to see everything at once. I want to be managing the body, and I
Yeah.
don't want to focus on like one battle. I'm focusing on like everything at once.
Would it not
Yeah.
pause while you're in battle?
Yeah.
No, I mean it would, yeah, but
But does it?
does it?
Mm.
Does it? You
Yes.
have to manage the combat at the same time. He's fallen down. He's currently falling down a long slope. You get into combat with open wound, and then suddenly another open wound opens up. Like, oh my god!
God, yeah.
I feel like that's part of it, isn't it? It's like you're trying to manage multiple things at once. So if you're focused on one battle, or maybe do you have Pokemon style battle, but there's like 6 of them on the screen at once?
Well, that's
and
why I
you've
went
got
with
to,
Total
like-
War originally.
Right.
But then XCOM makes sense as well.
Total War, yeah, but
Like,
the
well,
arena is
'cause
like
Mm.
A lot of because there's cells, right? There are millions of them. So
Mhm.
I think that gives you the most
But are,
scale sense.
are they millions
Right.
or are we little people?
Well, no, as in like, if you play Total War, have you played?
No,
Okay,
that's
but you know the
probably why I don't
scale of
understand.
Total War. Have you seen like the scale?
No, I
of it?
haven't.
Like you can have like 2,000 units each
Right.
on a
Yeah.
screen, and you control them in squads.
Right.
So you click on archers, and you can move them all, and they'll.
But in the overworld, you're not controlling 10,000 units. You're controlling
One little man.
It's presented as one archer in the overworld, but then when you
Right.
get into combat, that one archer is actually 60 archers. So you're moving groups in like that. So
I've
Total
played
War
something
could work.
similar. Is it like Ninja Gaiden or something? I don't know.
I
No,
no.
not
Ninja Gaiden.
like, imagine like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah,
That's what I'm thinking of.
But
Dynasty
with-
Warriors.
with
Ninja
little-
Ninja
Come
Gaiden.
on.
Little germ boys.
All the same game.
Oh
isn't
my
it?
god, I've got it.
have you? Is this
Still-
the name of the game?
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's
Really fucking
It's gonna be a pun.
Uh-huh.
It was just
What is it?
don't die, Nasty Warriors.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Don't die, nasty warriors.
I mean, it's not what I had in mind.
Featuring Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well,
I think-
Gwyneth Paltrow's
She's
don't
DLC,
die, Nasty
man.
Yeah,
Warriors.
she's-
well, I was
DLC.
thinking the Doctor from Horrible Bodies or whatever it's called.
Oh dear.
What is that? Embarrassing,
Embarrassing
Bodies.
Bodies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dr.
Christian.
Christian.
Dr. Christian Jessen. I met him once in London.
Did
he
you
was
show him the thing?
I showed him. No, he was
Just dong out.
he was just he was just walking around and just picking up people and just being like, "Oh, look at this fucking horrible picture," and everyone was like vomiting by the side of the road. And at one point, my hand graced his, and I never felt dirtier because I know what that guy's gotten up to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's
See-
diddled the worst of them.
Diddle the
Maybe diddle is not the greatest terminology used there.
He just
Oh, that's a great hand
You know,
gesture
he
for a
just-
podcast.
he just fiddled a really gross sack,
Right.
and I touched that hand,
Oh.
and that made me feel
I
real.
think he does wash though.
Yeah, you say that. Have you ever seen him wash in the show? I haven't.
He always sniffs
No.
his fingers.
Have you
very
seen,
much.
you know, like the bits where they cut between like patients and they've always got a hand covered in lube for some reason? It's like, oh, no, like, that's
Now that's
all
a
that
mini
goes on.
game.
That's
Yeah.
a mini game. Oh, God.
Slow motion.
What was that game that was the same game that he spun the wheel of STDs? When he,
Wow.
Yeah. We need to find the name of that game. It is
I
the
have
body
it on
simulator
Steam.
one.
That, yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's another factor,
Going back to
right?
this game,
You
though,
can start
see,
with STDs.
You see the bad X-rays, right? Someone's inserted or sat on.
Oh yeah,
a
foreign
light-
body
a light
detective.
bulb. So it's going to be
Buzz Lightyear just
foreign body. We've got to go
Shoved up someone's
push that out. Sorry, tangent. but
What is Buzz
mini
Lightyear
game.
doing down
that, was
here?
a, that was a genuine story.
No, I know.
Oh, no.
But I like
He's
that. I like the fact you just get the alert, foreign body detected, and you just scroll down and you just see a silhouette, and you're like, "Why is it moving?"
Hamster going
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, man, I think that is a great idea. However, I think it's getting feature creepy, like we always get, where
Yeah.
it's
getting creepy.
Getting excited.
a RimWorld management game style.
Oh my
management
God.
game.
Rimworld. I love the fact all I said was Rimworld and gave a look, and everyone knew where I was going with it.
you just called it. Are we just calling it RimWorld now?
No, we
I
can't
think-
steal that.
I think the only element that seemed to be starting to get away with itself is the combat. The combat looks like that could be a whole other thing.
I think it needs
Yeah.
combat. It needs the combat
but
needs
it
work.
should be.
But
It should be
it
simplified.
does need the
Yeah.
sense of scale that the body has, because
Yeah.
just because it's small doesn't mean it's not
Vast.
and like bustling with life.
Yeah.
But basically, we have a management sim where you manage the human body. The aim is to keep the body as alive or as alive
As alive
as
as
alive
long
as
as
can
possible.
Mine's barely alive.
You accrue points by
There's an
fighting
alarm
off
going
germs
off right
and
now. My body.
Foreign body detected.
I love how alive is not binary to you.
mostly alive.
I'm so alive right now.
On the scale of alive, I'm a 6.
And that's the game.
That's
It
it.
sounds
Game.
pretty straightforward, but also like quite complicated, like
Yeah.
management games usually are.
Don't die, nasty warriors.
Don't die, nasty
We still
warriors.
don't really have a name.
No, I think Don't Die,
Yeah.
Nasty
Nasty
Warriors
Warriors.
is a great
Don't
game.
die nasty
But that
warriors.
assumes
Very
the combat
catchy.
is
Okay.
kind of like Dynasty
Combat
Warriors.
does sound like the focus. However, I think that you can't ignore a great pun.
Sure. Okay.
That game was it's called Bio Inc. Redemption,
Oh yeah, that's
And it
yes.
looks like
sequel to
that.
Red Dead.
Yeah, you see like
Oh,
a
yeah.
silhouette of a man,
and he's got a.
Oh, you are the illness, aren't you? And you're
Yeah,
just
you had
trying
to
to.
kill him.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Right.
trying to
It's like
fuck
you
him
were-
up in
you were
a.
like-
So
real
we are
bad way.
direct competition to them.
Yeah.
In both
okay.
senses.
Well, yeah. So we're not we're just defending this stuff. Okay. Well, this week we only have 2 devs. So we're going to have to talk about our opinions as well.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, so the
But-
stat is: would you make it?
Yeah.
You would make it.
Yeah,
Can
I
you?
really like the. No.
I
There's a lot of difference between
never,
would and then
we
Yeah,
never
but I-
delve
to
into
will.
the can you make
Yeah,
it.
but I really want it now.
It does sound great.
you could
We have
probably
to
just
assume that Chris
mod
can make it. Let's just
FDL.
say.
I think you owe me this much by now, Chris.
No,
No, I
I
did
mean,
make it
I've
very
done.
You made me very ill.
VR.
Oh yeah, I've done enough episodes of this to know that would make is not the same as will make.
Not a binding contract.
No, but you would make it. Would you play it?
Yeah.
Okay, James, would you make it? Would you play it?
I think I would make it. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you could design, and the management system, all the menus, the actual germs.
Yeah.
Would I play? I don't like management games, so I don't
Okay.
think I would.
So
jump
on a personal level, you wouldn't play
Putting
it.
your name on
No.
a list.
But you like,
Sorry,
but you like the idea of it.
But I really like the idea. I think people would love it.
So I would love to play a management game like this. However, the balance needs to be just right. If it's too tough, then I'm just going to think the game is bullshit and never
Yeah.
play it like Darkest Dungeon. But if it's RimWorld where it feels RimWorld, does it feel fair? No, it doesn't. But I'd absolutely play it. Would I make it? Can't.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not a game dev.
I mean, that's exactly the same for me.
You'd play it?
So, I would definitely play it. Yeah. I think I'm terrible at management games, but I like them. And I think what's
I'm
good about
terrible
this
at
is
living.
like the relentless feeling of you can't win in the sense of like all you have to eventually this person is going to die. They're going to get some kind of illness. You can't fight anymore, even if it's just old age, and then
Yeah.
that's it. But that element of it feels quite exciting. I
Yeah.
think that could make a really good game. So
My character lived to 150. Amazing.
I feel like you should also
Cool.
have to name them.
Well, the character.
Yeah.
They don't
Just
have
so you get a personal attachment, and when they
Yeah,
go,
sure, why
when
not?
they go, it hurts.
Pete's dead. No.
Yeah.
Pete, what are you
Pete.
doing? You're falling in a river.
Share with Twitter.
all right. Well, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining us, Booth. Thank you for your lovely idea.
Thank
That was
you.
great. That
That's
was
good.
really
Yeah,
cool.
that was brilliant. Thanks,
Chris.
Chris and
Cheers.
If you've
and
got any
James.
more ideas for us, if you like to submit your ideas, we love doing fan episodes. The one that we've
Yes.
done so far, then send it into at Pitch Plus Pod. Pitch
I feel like
Please
we need
without
to
the
explain
vowels,
this
pod with a
every
vowel.
week. The reason that the pod has O in it is because otherwise it sounds like Pitch Please Police Department.
That sounds amazing.
That
It
sounds
sounds
really
so
good.
cool.
PD.
but misleading.
So yeah, please submit your ideas if you've got any, and also watch twitch.tv/Bouphe underscore.
Nice.
No.
How do,
No
how do you spell it?
underscore.
I don't know why I assumed there was an underscore.
Because
I
everyone
think-
else has one.
Yeah. Sips has one.
Yeah.
Ravs has one.
B
You know
O
what? I've got
U P H E.
Bouphe.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at Bouphe.
With all the vowels.
All the vowels.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
See you
Bye.
next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.